All right, well, today is another episode of Addison Real Estate Podcast. Today I have Jackie Romero, one of our Spanish-speaking agents. Jackie is one of our newer agents, about a couple years in, 2-3 years in, and she's been absolutely crushing it. And thank you so much for coming on, Jackie. How you feeling?
Good. Thank you for having me here.
You're a little nervous. It's okay.
I'm a little nervous. It's okay. Because my accent, but I can do it.
Yes,
we're gonna do it.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Okay.
Jackie absolutely crushes it with clients who come through who are Spanish speaking. We do have a lot of clientele, and it's a very niche market that you can find a lot of success in. Because being able to speak multiple languages helps a lot. Everyone needs a home. Everyone needs a home.
Yeah, that's 100%. Everybody needs a place.
Everyone needs a place to go. Yeah. So what got you into real estate? Who, asked you to be a realtor? What brought you here? And what were you doing a little bit beforehand?
Before real estate, I used to be in the medical field for almost 13 years.
Oh, wow.
But before that, I always thought about real estate. The only reason because I couldn't do it is because I will have to be in-person classes. Real estate. So when COVID hit, that was the opportunity. They opened online class. Yeah. And that's where I joined and I finally got to do it.
Okay. So there was no reason.
It was 13 years later. But I got it.
There's no reason for those classes to be in person. They're pretty simple.
Straightforward.
Yeah, I know.
So it's just memorizing a lot of different things. But and laws but that was my opportunity. I got here because Magali is your sister-in-law. Yes.
And she got you into real estate. Were you ever thinking about real estate or no? It was just like Magali said one time and I was like, okay.
I thought about it many years ago, like I said before, but I didn't have the opportunity to do it. And to start in real estate, you need some money too. You need some time. Yeah. So it takes time and it takes money. You have a family, so it's hard to get off from your regular job and regular hours to do this on the side in the middle of it. Yeah. Once you start real estate, the first year is almost like living with money that you have in savings. Pretty much.
Yeah, especially when you start out.
Seriously, it's just so that's why it was hard to start. But once I got the push, and Magali got me into it, I was like, oh, maybe that's the opportunity,
Yeah. And when you own a very high-maintenance dog, like a French bulldog, Sophie, right?
Sophie. She's adorable.
So when you have a very high-maintenance dog like a French bulldog, you definitely need some savings.
I know, 100%.
When you just got your license, did you look for other brokerages, or you were like, Magali told me Addison Real Estate, I'm just going to join Addison Real Estate?
Yeah, no, I never thought about anybody else but Addison Real Estate. Okay. And like I say, it was wonderful. Best place to be. I started from zero. I had no idea what I was doing. I even started just picking up phone calls and, transferring to everybody.
Oh, I remember.
The first 6 months,
Yeah.
So that's how I first started. And finally, after 6 months, I got to do my first deal with Magali.
Oh,
so
cool.
She kind of coached me during the first deal. So, it's a you always keep learning. It's not something that you say, oh, yeah, I know it all. You don't know all. It's like every time you learn something new. And, in real estate, everything keeps updating and changing. And you kind of need to adapt to changes. So it's always like a learning experience. So.
Yeah. And your first deal was about 6 months in with Magali.
Yes.
What did that go how you expected? Did real estate oh my gosh, this is so different than what I thought?
Yes. Everything was super, super different because now you got involved an attorney, inspections, reports, emails, messages, now dealing with the worry that the client has and then the seller, issues. It is like a lot of, it's like a combination of thousand things, in one deal. It's like it's always not only one thing that you gotta worry about. It's like so many little steps. So it was definitely something new, something different. But Magali always got me through everything. So she explained everything very well, and she guided me in every single thing I did. So
Okay.
It went smooth at the same time, but yeah, it was different and
a lot more moving pieces than you thought.
Yes.
So you're telling me real estate is not just showing pretty homes.
No.
It's more than
I
just
think that's the easiest thing in real estate.
You're like begging.
showing
you're like,
the house.
please, may this be a nice, easy home to show.
Yes. Yeah. Showing homes is just, I feel that is the easier part. But the paperwork and the process, even though it seems like in a short time, sometimes it's like 4 weeks or 6 weeks that you can close a deal, but it's a lot into it.
Oh,
and
my gosh.
You never know until the last minute. Like, I have closings that never happen from the day before. Like, we're ready to close, and the day before something happened, and
you
everything
push
falls
it.
through.
Yep. Yeah.
All the work that you had put into all these weeks.
Because there's so much out of your control.
Yes.
I think when I first started, I thought you kind of just... I thought, I was like, okay, as a real estate agent, I can charge what I was super young. I was like 21, 22. I was like, okay, I'll just charge $1,000 per transaction, and I'll just have a ton of clients, and then I'll just have 50 clients for the year, and I'll make $50K.
Yeah.
But that's like I just want to look at myself and like slap myself, because that's not even remotely close to what real estate's like. You have a lot of skills and your training, but would you say you're like in control of a lot, but you're also not at the same time? There's so much is going on around you.
You can control your part.
Yeah.
But there is many parts to it.
Attorneys.
Yeah, attorneys. Yeah.
You feel Addison Real Estate has brought you so far. How has Addison Real Estate affected your business and also your personal life as well?
Life is tough, but real estate make you a little tougher. Let's say it that way. Like we were saying before, there's so many things that goes into it and many things that can go wrong that you kind of learn how to move around, how to adapt and change, how to fix it. Like then you don't think about like complaining. It's like how they're gonna fix it. Like you quickly start like thinking how to solve it. So I think real estate helps a lot in that way. Because there's a lot of changes, and usually you like to be in a comfort zone. You like to be in a place that you feel secure and there's no changes. But because this is this way, it helps you to think quick and find solutions.
Oh, you got to
right
be a
away.
big problem solver.
And know how to deal with it, because if there is a problem with the seller and now you got to talk to your client that is a buyer, it's like you gotta think how to talk to them too, so you don't get aggravated or they don't get cold feet, or you gotta think like how you gonna solve this in every side. How you gonna talk to the attorney, how you gonna talk to the client. So it's like something that help you to kind of live in a, how can I say, in an easier way to solve.
Okay. And
things.
so you feel like that's played into your personal life? Like since doing real estate, you're like, oh, I have these skills now, problem solving.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Helps a lot. Like I say before, you just don't want to make that many changes in your life. And now it's like, oh, doesn't matter. Anything can come and we'll deal with it. It's fine.
Yeah.
We're just going to deal with it. What can we do?
And on a personal level, do you feel like you've made good relationships with the people here?
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot. Talking about Addison Real Estate is like family. You are able to work. You're able to laugh. You're able to learn. So, and I mean, what else can you ask for? A job sometimes is very stressful because it's very straightforward. You come and do this, and you're gone. You punch and go. Here it's more like a group, like a family. We need something. We have a group chat. Any question, we feel free to ask in there.
Yeah.
Anybody can jump and help.
People being goofy
Just
in
like
the group chat.
Yeah, and then we laugh. And I mean, it's amazing. I love it. I love being in here.
And we're all different types of crazy.
And we're all different.
We're all
we all
very
have our
different.
own personality.
We have. Oh my gosh. Just the way Layla is, and Layla's my aunt. The way Aunt Layla she's
God, so calm.
She's so calm, and sometimes she can be crazy.
But then she can be
I love
strong
Aunt,
too.
yeah, very strong. And then David's just like, yeah, I'm gonna show up in a sweater and pants and shoes, like super normal, but he's like one of the top producing agents here. I mean, there's so many different ways to sell. And do you feel like Kelly has made sure you become your own agent and you sell in the way you're comfortable and the way you can find success?
Yeah, Kelly let us be the way we want to be, as long as we are very transparent, very clear, very good with the clients. She, she look from far away. She give us all the instruments to do whatever we need. She all the learning that we need, and if we need anything, of course, she's going to be there for us. But she always teaches that we need to find our own way first, try to solve things and see how everything goes. But she let us be. She let us develop our own way. And that's a nicer thing, because you don't feel the pressure. You kind of start going with the flow, and everything flows better. Everything gets better, And so, we don't feel forced to do whatever she wants. It's like she let us find our own way, as long as we are doing a good job.
And you will sell better when you're comfortable.
Yes, that with the pressure.
There were some
do mistakes.
I mean, I've had some clients that were in I was like, wow, this is going to be a really big sale for me, but I wasn't comfortable. Just our personalities didn't click, and I couldn't close it. Maybe I suck. Maybe I'm the worst agent in the world. But when you kind of just realize, like, I'm just good at this and I'm really comfortable, that's when you love your job, and that's when you love what you're doing, and you love working with clients. And
you gotta enjoy what you do. Once you enjoy what you do, that's when you have more success. And people notice it.
I think those fancy agents you see on TV, that's cool. But there's a lot of crazy, stressful situations that come up doing this job. How do you handle the emotional highs and lows of real estate?
It is challenging, because you pass from feeling so much joy for helping someone to get the dream come true, of getting a house, but then you jump from that to maybe dealing with the market fluctuation right now, right? Like, people get frustrated. Sometimes they just stop looking. They don't want to do it anymore. So for me, the best I can do is being very clear with the client, explaining the process of buying and, and selling, if they're selling, so they kind of know what to expect. So they don't feel frustrated at the end, kind of setting up those expectations, so they don't feel. But that part is the only way I can do it. Just being clear and sincere. That's how I deal with all the craziness.
So you think if you get out in front of it from the beginning, like, hey guys, the market's crazy. It's deals can be very hectic, and you feel like they're a little bit more calm during.
That helps a lot.
Helps a lot. And so it helps you not be like, my gosh, they're losing their mind. And you're just like, oh, no, well, I prepared them for this. They know what to expect. And then 100%. They're confident, and they're not giving you so much more stress.
Yes, 100%. Okay. Of course, they, something happens along the way. They're going to get stressed, but they know they knew that was something that maybe they could happen, know. So it doesn't get that crazy.
You didn't tell them, oh, this is going to be perfect. It's nothing wrong is going to happen. Everything's going to be smooth sailing, right?
I always say I try to be smooth, but, things happen along the way, and
something always happens. Control. There's never a deal that something does not happen. I don't think I've ever had a transaction where nothing came up inspection, the attorney wasn't crazy.
I know.
Something with title. Like, when you think it's smooth, it's not if something's going to happen, it's when something's going to happen.
Look at the last deal that I was going to close in December. The house burned a week before we closed.
What?
We were done. We were closed.
The house burned a week?
The one in Hopacon.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
a week before we were closing.
So what happened? So what deal was going on?
It's in a standby, because it might take several months to know what's going on, to figure it out. If, I'm glad nothing happened to anybody. I'm happy about that, because it will be a little more scary and frustrating to know that someone, a new buyer got it and something happened, and nothing happened to the sellers neither. So I'm glad about that. But we were done. we have everything ready to go, just signing.
And the house, it burnt down completely or just a portion of it?
No, just a portion of it.
Oh my gosh.
So it's like things happen, like always something happens. It's like, okay.
You're still under contract?
We're still in there, yeah.
Wow.
My buyer's still waiting to see what's going to happen.
They must
They're a
really
little
like that home.
anxious to know anything. Yeah, the problem.
They must have really loved that home.
Yes, it's by the lake, so it's lakefront. But the only thing is that we don't hear anything at all, and that might kill the deal because and I understand it takes a long time to figure it out what they're gonna do. It takes months for
because they got to do insurance claims, and they got fire department probably has to do an investigation why it caught on fire. Oh, that sucks.
So yeah.
Well, on a positive note, what's the most rewarding part of this job to you?
Feeling the happiness of my clients when they get to close.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's just such an amazing feeling. It's like, because I have been there and I know how hard it is sometimes for someone to achieve something like that. So for me, it's just the most amazing feeling. And I think that keeps me going a lot.
Yeah, because you bought your home 2018, 2019?
Yes, 2019, but I bought the first one maybe in 2012.
Do you have a big success story? Like there are these clients that it felt like an offer wasn't going to get accepted or it was against all odds and it's like, wow, this actually pulled through.
Wow, yes. There actually was one that really stuck to my head. It was a family that has been here for many years. And I received a call from Silo, and she was like talking to me, asking me about different kind of properties. But then she called me later and she's like crying. She's like, I don't think I can do it. I don't think this is possible for me because, sometimes people have an idea in their head, but they don't know what takes to get into a house, like closing costs and, all these things that you need to have money. But they don't know that there are programs too. So she was like, no, that's not possible. I'm not going to be able to have a house. And she will cry and cry because she said that has been like her dream. And I push it so like, I just try my best in everything with lender. I try to get them into any program that they cool. We not me, but the lender will do it. I will talk to the lender, and they try so hard that they got help. They got a house that they even got money back for closing.
Oh wow! Yeah.
So they thought it wasn't possible. There was a point that they even back out. Oh. We were right into the process already that they knew they were going to be able to do it.
Yeah.
But they get scared during the process. They get cold feet and they're like, no. They got so scared. They're backing out. I'm like, no, I know you love it. I know you can. You're just a little scared. I told them so much that they finally got into it again and they got it. And they're so happy, they're so grateful, and that gives me, as long as I know it's a good opportunity for someone, I will try to not push it, but in a good way, I will try to talk to them about, how good opportunity it is, if you still want it, if you love it, and if you need it. So I'm glad I did that, and that was one of those that really got my heart.
I love doing this. Yeah. And it's not pushing them, like forcing them to buy. No. It's more of like, this is what you told me you wanted.
Yes.
And this is what you told me would be your dream scenario.
Yes.
And I don't want you to back out just because you're nervous, which is something that's normal.
Yes.
Because it's within what you can afford. It's what you want. It's in the area you're looking for. And sometimes you got to tell clients, like, hey, it's all right. It's scary. It is so scary. Everyone freaks out. Everyone cries.
We know it's a big commitment, and I understand that. So I don't. If I know that someone is just not ready, I won't even try. I know,
not gonna force them.
I know it is what it is, but knowing that they were able to do it, and that has been a dream for them, that they had been crying all the time about it, it's like, it's sad that they're gonna lose that opportunity, So
yeah. So
you want to make
you want to make sure they're there. Yeah. You want to make sure they're on.
And they're super happy. They test me all the time.
When you have those success stories of people who text you all the time and they love you, Jackie, you're the best agent in the world. Oh my gosh, mucho gracias. And
they love me like family, which is nice. When I end up in a process and
You have these great stories, but at the same time, you have people who think agents are the worst people on the planet.
Yeah.
So what do you think is the biggest misconception that people have about realtors? So something that's not true about us.
That they think that we only work for the money and we want to do like a quick close. Obviously, everybody works for money, right?
Yeah.
Everybody does it. But we don't want those quick closing all the time. Like a long relationship with the client.
Yes.
You know, we don't just want to close and that's it and gone. No, we want that long because
It feels empty.
yeah,
It feels empty, those quick closings.
And you know, you want to end it up having like a nice relationship with the client because and especially because our job depends of you know how good we do with the clients.
Yeah,
like,
reputation.
yeah,
And, yeah.
and that you recommend me, and so it's not really like we just want to do money like that and just. But a lot of people think that yeah, you just want to close and that's it, and you just want to get your money. And
Well, a lot of the time, you are thinking, at least right now, the market is so difficult and it's so hard. And these are just people. These are people who have dreams, people who want to own a home, people who want to start a family. And you're also human.
yeah,
You're just like, I put myself in their shoes and I want someone to guide me,
Yeah.
make sure I'm doing the right things. And you get attached.
and then you spend so much time with them.
Yes, like
It's
6
like-
months, a year.
I mean, it's almost like every single day you talk to them when
Yeah.
you're in a deal.
See
you
them
know?
every weekend.
So it's like, oh my God, it's like they become like family at the end. It's like, okay, I'm doing this for what? Because I'm working or because I want to make more friends and
I know.
family.
There are
But
some.
it's nice. It's nice to have that combination.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
Because you enjoy.
Yeah,
Enjoy
and
your
there's honestly at some points there were times I was seeing clients more than family.
Yes.
Easily.
Oh,
like
yeah,
clients I see every
100%.
weekend during the week. I'm like,
Yes.
I see you more than I see my own mom and
So,
dad.
Yeah. Sometimes I have my own, like, you haven't come in 2 weeks. Oh, I know. I'm super busy. I'm so sorry. And she's in the same town that I'm always with my son,
Yeah.
you know, for school. And it's like, I don't have the time because you're always with the clients.
Yeah, and I think that is another thing people don't realize is there's a lot of sacrifice when it comes to doing this job.
Yes,
Running
100%.
around, texting all the time on the phone.
Oh, my
And
God.
I think
Driving.
I think at Addison Real Estate we do a good job of teaching people boundaries. Like it's okay to tell your clients, hey, you know, you can text me or call me whenever, but I'll get back to you between 8:30 and 6:30. Or hey, I'm at a baseball game right now. I'll talk to you tomorrow. But people will understand, and I think. What do you think that was in the beginning to now? Did you feel like in the beginning you had to respond right away, and now you're like, it's okay, like I can breathe?
Sometimes I still feel in the rush. Sometimes this is my thinking. Like if someone, something like if I know weekends for us is the most busiest time because
Yeah.
that's when the client has free time to go and see properties, right? Sometimes. So if I know that I'm booked, let's see, a Saturday from morning to afternoon,
Yeah.
and someone writes to me at 9:30 that it passed the time that I really asked them to write to me.
Yeah.
I said, I'm not going to respond. I'm going to look at it tomorrow. 2 minutes later, I'm looking at the message.
Yeah.
I'm like-
Sometimes you're like, ugh.
I'm like, so I feel like it's better for me to respond now that I have the time and not tomorrow when I'm gonna be driving back and forth with my other clients. So I feel like I'm not gonna have the time to respond. But that's only if it's something like really urgent, you know,
Yeah.
like not really something that can wait.
Yeah, and I think we got to realize we're not saving lives here, right? You know, no one's
Right.
dying. Nothing. There's if you really look at it, do you think there are very few times something's an absolute emergency? Like this has to happen now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, few things. You know, when it's something related with a deal. You know, because if it's something that they have to write an email, depending what I say, an email to the attorney, or that for me is something that needs to be respond right away.
What was the worst experience you had showing a home?
I had a bad experience one day showing a home because the smell. I'm very big in it smells. I like when something smells good, and I had this client that was in Florida. I was showing houses doing FaceTime.
Yeah.
I got to this place that looks bad from outside, but I couldn't open. I called the listing agent. The listing agent is like, "Oh no, just open. You know, it's unlocked and just be careful, the owner is in the house and she might jump from someplace. I'm like,
It's like jump from the ceiling.
I'm gonna die in here. What's gonna happen? I opened the door. I couldn't pass the door.
Oh my gosh.
The smell was like someone was dead in there.
Oh.
I was like, and then I start like making all these faces and making like I'm gonna throw up. At this point, I forgot my client is looking at me. I turned every color. I couldn't stop like trying to vomit. It was just the most embarrassing thing after, because then I realized that I went to the street and then I saw her on FaceTime. I'm like, oh my God, you saw me.
So she's just watching her agent like vomit on the phone.
It was so bad and embarrassing. She was like, "Don't worry, don't even go. Just go. I'm not interested in that house anyways." She's like, "Just don't worry." I stayed with that feeling all day.
It was that bad.
That feeling passed in the morning the next day. It was so bad that I can still feeling it inside me. It was like on my nose. It was just never ever had.
Maybe the owner died inside. I don't know. Do you know? Do you know what happened?
I don't know, but I wrote a message to the listing agent like, "Can you please tell people to use, like a
mask or something?"
Yeah.
And someone's living there.
That's crazy.
Oh my God.
And glove.
Oh yeah.
It was the whole house. When I opened the door, it was a mess. It was like you can't even walk. I'm like, that for me has been the worst. Like, the smell.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
So Jackie can't do smelly homes.
No, I can't. I have had more, like two or three more houses like that where the client will have to, and the client feel it too, but they want it so bad to know how it is.
Just walk into the home like this.
They're like, just wait here. I'll go inside. Oh my God, it's just too much.
Oh God,
I can't.
I don't think I've walked into a smelly home like that before. I've walked in some bad smelling homes, but not like I can't walk through the door.
It's too strong that even the client will say you can't. It's just they go in a second and then come out. They can't.
I thought I was going to die one time because I walked into a fixer-upper home with this investor, and looks like a bomb went off in the home. And we open the basement door, and the ceiling to the basement was dropping. So going down the steps, he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go downstairs." I'm like, "Are you sure?" And I was new, so I was like, "Well, I gotta follow my client." So I go down the steps, and we have to crouch down the steps because the ceiling is bowing like this, and the whole basement was just bowing. I'm like, I'm going to die. I'm going to die. I'm going to die. I just got my license. I'm so sorry to my girlfriend. Yeah, my wife now, but I'm going to die. Yeah. Have you ever walked in? I've walked in on someone sleeping in bed. I know David's walked in on someone naked on the bed.
Me too.
Yeah.
Someone is sleeping. It's just the most uncomfortable. I think that kills the client to want to see that house. Once that happened, the client is like, "No, let's just go. I just don't feel comfortable." It's just
I have never closed on a home where there were like tenants or sellers making it uncomfortable.
Yes.
Never, ever. I've only closed one, and that's because the sellers and the buyers were having a great conversation and they fell in love with each other. But like in a situation where it's a little uncomfortable. Yeah, and I did have a question I just thought about. With you being bilingual, speaking Spanish, do you feel like that's been a big advantage for you?
Yes, it helps a lot because I have clients that they try, I get the phone call in English, but then, I have a heavy accent. I know when someone speak another language too. I mean, maybe I'm not 100% sure if it's Spanish, but mostly are Spanish. So it make it easier because I see them struggling. Sometimes you don't want to say because then you don't want them to feel like I don't like how you're speaking in English, but I just feel like for me, I will appreciate if someone that speak my language make me feel, especially with this that has a very legal terms and you want to be clear, so it's nice if it's your first language, someone to speak the same language. So it does helps a lot. I mean, I have my clients is like half Spanish and half English speaking. But the English speakers it's just funny because they think that I just came from my country. They think I just landed.
You just landed.
I'm like, oh no, I have been here more than 24 years. So they're like, what? They're very surprised. But my accent is never gonna go anywhere. It's just, it is what it is.
Do you feel, when you do work with Spanish speaking clients, do you feel like they're a lot more grateful because they have an agent that speaks Spanish?
Oh yes, they feel relief. They're kind of they get so happy. They're like, oh my God, where are you from? And then they get more familiar, and then you get to explain in like better to them because they feel so comfortable that it's almost like talking to a friend. You start like feeling that confidence too. So they can feel confident of asking any question too. Because sometimes when it's not your language, you limit it to just the essential things that you need. Like you don't ask all the questions that you really need. You kind of just limit it to whatever is needed in the moment, but it's not really gonna. Especially for this, when you're buying a house, there is many things to explain. There is many steps. There is many like legal terms that you need to make sure that your client knows. So it does help a lot.
Okay.
And they feel happy when they.
And do you feel like they're very loyal because of that? Like, I found a Spanish speaking agent. I'm going to refer you to my aunt and uncle and grandfather because they have Spanish speaking family.
Yeah, they are. They are. They definitely are. And like I say, it always ends up like they feel like your family.
Oh,
they all
sweet.
invite me to the house. They want me to see what they did new into the house. They want to invite me for a barbecue. I have clients that even drop me food. Like, oh, where are you? Like, I want to I cook something. Yeah.
Wow.
They're so adorable. But they ended up loving me. So they kind of, take me to other clients because of that.
Yeah.
Because they feel very confident.
And in our marketplace, Morris, Warren, and Sussex County, there's not a lot of Spanish-speaking agents. There's a lot more, like where I currently live, Bergen County, Essex, and stuff. But in this area, there's not that many.
No, I mean it depends of the area. Just like let's say Dover, that is close. Dover is a lot of Spanish-speaking, but in this area, like here in the office, we have only two.
Yeah,
2 people.
Yeah, 2 agents. Yeah. So yeah. And my last couple questions for you, Jackie. If there's an agent who is considering moving to another brokerage, what would you say to them?
Come to Addison Real Estate. We're waiting for you. It will be wonderful here. No, seriously. Kelly is one of those brokers that will keep us going all the time. She keep teaching us new things. She's always paying attention what we're doing in a good way, just to it's almost like she's our coach for work and life.
Yeah.
The way she coaches is to the point that we kind of understand that if we work hard, we will get to the place we want.
Yeah.
So it's amazing. Here it's really amazing. It feels like a family. So come here. We're waiting for you.
Spanish-speaking agents,
Please,
trilingual, bilingual. We want all the agents.
You'll be happy here like a family.
Yeah, a nice, happy family. All right, that is another episode of Addison Real Estate. Hold on. That is another episode of Addison Real Estate Podcast. Thank you so much for listening. This has been Jackie Romero from Addison Real Estate, and I'm Isaiah Aviles, a company manager at Addison Real Estate. If you want to follow Jackie on any socials, we'll link it down below, and we'll love to see you in the next one. Have a good one.
Have a good one.
All right, perfect.